Hello, thank you so much for tuning in and checking out my channel. If you are new here, I am Emma. I am a hairstylist in Minneapolis where I specialize in hair color as well as natural beaded row hair extensions. And today I'm going to be showing you how to fake a big, beautiful, bouncy blowout. I personally feel like I can do a good smooth blowout on myself, but to get those like big kind of voluminous blowout curls that I love to do in the salon on other people is so hard on myself. So I feel a little more confident with a curling iron on myself to create this look. So if you are someone like that who struggles a little bit with the round brush and wants that big, beautiful, bouncy blowout look, this might be the tutorial for you. So stay tuned. All right, so what we're gonna need for this is we're going to need a curling iron. I'm using my Hot Tools. This is the Signature Series. This is 1 inch and it looks really big on camera. It's not quite this big as it's showing up, but this is 1 inch and 1/4. I'm also gonna be using some hairspray, knocking things around, a wet brush, a little bit of oil for my ends, and then I always love a little dry shampoo. So, to create this big, beautiful look, I'm gonna start off actually just right in front and kind of work my way back. So what I'm going to do is, oh, I forgot, you're gonna want these clips too. If you don't have these clips, they're super easy to find. Just look at like Target, CVS, whatever. They're super cheap, but this is gonna help just hold our curls into place. Here we go, into it we go. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just start off by sectioning the front. So as you can see, I like to wear more of kind of a middle-ish, slightly off-center part. So I want a lot of volume up here. So what I am going to do is get my little section. So I'm taking roughly the same size as my curling iron of section. Now I talk about this in my other videos. My natural hair does not like to hold a curl, so I'm gonna kiss it with hairspray before we even get started. So spray it down. And now I'm going to clamp my curling iron in the middle and just start curling everything away from my face. Make sure you get the ends in there. Let it sit for a second and then release. If you accidentally let it drop, that's okay. You can just take in your fingers and re-wrap it up. And then place a clip. I'm using my camera as the mirror, so this is a little awkward to see. Okay. Place your clip, and I'm just gonna do this going all the way down. Now I am wearing 2 rows of natural beaded rows, so I'm gonna go all the way back, just curling everything the same way and kind of stop right where I hit my extension left, and we'll address that in a minute. I'm gonna speed this part up now as I continue this little mohawk section. And I'm repeating exactly what I did with that first pin curl. So clamping in the middle, curling away from my face, and clipping it with that little pin curl clip all the way down till I get just past the crown of my head. So you can see I did 4 curls, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I like to start working from the front to back because we're trying to get volume. So I feel like that just helps me over direct, which is gonna really help me with that volume. So now we're gonna go into the sides where I'm just gonna start curling everything down and kind of under, but still making sure that I'm lifting it up to get volume. So again, working from top down. So I have this section here, and then my rows start with my NBR. But I am just clamping the hair in the middle, and I want to kind of have this going slightly away from my face. So I'm going to make sure the tail is on the back side. So you can see instead of being up here, the tail of my hair is down here. Roll it up. And then I just kind of like do this kind of thing as I'm pulling it out, just so I don't pull too much of the curl out. And then if you need to go back through, re-smooth and wrap it up. clip her on in. And I'm just gonna continue working down. So again, I'm not gonna be quite as heavy with the spray on the hair down here because there's some extension hair, which holds curls so much better than my natural curl. With extensions, one thing I find that helps keep them looking really good and smooth is adding just a little bit of heat to them. So I am gonna just kind of warm it up with my curling iron. And now I'll go in and begin the curl. We have a Lone Ranger hanging out. Don't worry, I'll address that in a sec. Oh. I'm taking the hair again, wrapping it up and placing a clip. Okay, this is just kind of like an awkward random piece of hair, so I'm just not gonna even clip this in, but just give it a little curl. And I'm gonna repeat on this side and speed it up for you guys. And I'm just continuing to do exactly what I did, but much, much faster. I wish I was actually this fast. That would be amazing. But I'm just repeating, keeping everything now a little more horizontal, as you can see. And then again, clipping it with my little pin curl clip to let it cool and really hold the shape and style. And it's gonna really help it last a super long time by clipping it like this. So we have our mohawk section that's going all the way back, and that goes to right about here. So just past the crown of your head. And then everything else is going down, and I stopped right at about my occipital bone. If you don't know what that is, if you feel on your head, there's like a little bone back there where it pushes out. That's kind of where I stopped curling. Again, I'm wearing 2 rows of natural beaded rows, so I basically have my bottom row out. Now these ones I'm not going to set just because I feel like we don't need that much volume down here. I'm more just looking for smoothness. So I'm not going to be using the clips down here, but what I am going to do is just give it another kiss of the spray. I love this hairspray. I use it in a lot of my videos. It's the Infinium 4 from L'Oreal Professional. Is this one 4 or 3? I have 3 as well. This one's 4. But you can see how easy it is to brush through. The 3 is just a little bit less hold to it, but I feel like the 4 is still really weightless and easy to work with. So again, since I have extensions in, I'm just gonna kind of smooth my hair out before I go. And I'm gonna clamp in the middle, and I am gonna kind of hold the curling iron a little more horizontally versus vertically. Clamp in the middle, and I want this to be like a blowout, so going all the way through my ends to get that really just like smooth, bouncy situation. And then I'm just gonna let it kind of drop and just repeat that through this whole bottom section. So again, you don't have to wear extensions to do this. I just kind of left out at this bottom half of my hair. I'm just not gonna set it just because I'm okay with it not having as much volume and body as the rest. So to keep things easy and save a step. But if you are wearing natural beaded rows, I'm kind of using my bottom row as my guide of what I am leaving out. Heating that up, making sure I get the ends in there, wrapping it up. And then I do kind of like touch and feel a little bit. Oh my gosh, you can see my spray tan wearing off. Don't judge me. You can feel how if it's heating up or not. So once it feels warm, that's when I just gently pull it out, and then we're just gonna keep working our way through. So I'm gonna speed this up again. I'm just continuing exactly how I showed you guys, keeping my curling iron as horizontal as I can. Now, letting these curls fall, I'm not super worried about not pinning them because my extensions hold a curl so much better than my natural hair. If your hair does tend to fall pretty easy, you can go ahead and just hard set it with those pin curl clips all the way down. but I'm just trying to keep this as easy as possible. So letting this natural hair fall is just a little bit quicker, and I know it's gonna hold and still look gorgeous. Okay, so we now have our bottom all curled. We have the top all set. So one thing I like to do to add a little extra volume is use a little dry shampoo. This is Morning After Dust, again from L'Oreal Professional, their Techni Art line. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna spray it in this kind of mohawk section. So with any dry shampoo, I like to give it a good shake. And spray it up there. We're gonna do this all before we take everything out, and then just a little bit in between each curl too. I don't know if you noticed, I didn't take super specific sections. I feel like if you're too perfect with these pin curl sections, you almost get kind of lines in there. So just kind of went through. Now I'm going to start taking out my clips. I start from the bottom, so that way hopefully I don't miss any. I threw in a small clip back here. When I've clipped my whole head before and I've started at the top, I've accidentally forgot a clip in there. So noticed it later through the day. I'm like, what is this awkward hard thing that I don't know how you lose a clip in your hair, but it happens. So start at the bottom. So make sure you got it all out. Now I haven't brushed out the bottoms, especially since we didn't let those set in our little clippies. You want to make sure you let that hair really cool down so it can set and have some good hold. And then now I'm at my mohawk section. There goes a clip. And I'm starting again at the bottom. And now I had sprayed that dry shampoo in there, so before I do anything, I'm just going to literally, I like to think of it like I'm shampooing my hair. So get in there with the pads of my fingers and kind of work it in. And I love a dry shampoo on top, and then especially with extensions and being in Minnesota where it's cold and dry, but just in general, I do it all year long. I love adding just a splash of oil to my ends. This is the Mythic oil from L'Oreal Professional. Oh, it's looking so kind of awkward, all fluffed out and weird. So I'm just gonna do one pump of oil. It's kind of hard to see in the camera. Work it in my ends. I'm wearing 2 rows of 22 inches, so it's just hard for me to get the whole thing on camera sometimes. Okay, so we got our dry shampoo in, we have our oil in. Now I'm gonna just go through with my wet brush. And I'm just going in and giving everything a good brush. Because of the way we set it, I don't have to worry about over brushing because your hair should have a ton of memory and bounce just right back up. Okay, now that I'm looking, my ends are a little curlier than what I would like. So I'm just gonna go through with my curling iron, almost using it as a straightener, just slowly kind of pulling a little bit of that bend out. So just because you brush it out doesn't mean you have to be done with the curling iron. You can still kind of jig and adjust things. Fluff it up. I feel like it is so dry and staticky here, so I'm just gonna do a kiss of spray just to help with a little bit of the static, get everything to hold. But there you have it. A big kind of bouncy, beautiful blowout look and vibe. Again, you can kind of look through if there's any tweaking you want to do. I'm just kind of pulling some of these ends a smidge straighter. But super pretty, something just a little different than the normal kind of beach wave curls that I always do. I just wanted to share with you guys a different look. I love it. I feel like this is kind of more of a formal look if you're going to fancy dinner or job interview. whatever. I don't know what's fancy going on. It's still Corona time. I'm gonna stop messing with it. Spray it one more time with my favorite hairspray. And there you have it. If you liked this video and you want to see more from me, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want notifications whenever I post a new video, make sure you ring the bell. That'll let you know whenever there is a new video. My goal is to do at least one new video a week. I love sharing with you guys. If there is a video you want to see, drop it in the comments below. I would love to hear your feedback. I'm here for you to help, and I hope you all have an awesome day. Let me know if you try this too. Let me know what you think, if it was easier, harder than a round brush. I feel like kind of getting this body, I don't know, this voluminous, bouncy blowout look is really hard for me on myself with a round brush, so I love it with the curling iron. Anywho, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to tune in next time.